Tonight on Cougar News, 3 more suspects have been arrested by the FBI in connection to the Boston Marathon attacks. We have the latest on the developing arrests.
Plus, getting classes may have been hard this semester, but students may be able to breathe easy for the summer session. We'll tell you why.
And a former College of the Canyons student is making his name in the professional world of sports. Find out more about the college athlete's run to success. Cougar News starts now.
This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm Yasmin Ruzbeh.
And I'm Moshe Mylan. Here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom. 3 more arrests have been made in the connection to the Boston Marathon bombings that occurred April 15th. An unidentified U.S. citizen and 2 college classmates of Johar Tsarnaev, the suspect currently under arrest, are facing federal charges. They're suspected of removing items from Tsarnaev's dorm room following the attack. Tamerlan Tsarnaev, who was killed in the shootout with Boston police, is the only other known individual identified in the bombings that killed 3 and injured more than 260 people. Police say there's no current threat to the public.
Deputies have caught the 2 suspects in the 4 robberies of Santa Clarita schools that occurred during spring break in April. 20-year-old Gonzalo Ortiz and an unidentified 17-year-old male were arrested on April 19th after being identified through video surveillance footage from one of the schools that were burglarized. The suspects made away with laptops, computers, and a television, among other items. While the exact value of the stolen property was not released, the LASD press release asserted it was a substantial loss for the school district. Detectives, however, have recovered some of the stolen property. Ortiz is scheduled to appear in court on May 1st to face his charges of 1 count of second-degree commercial burglary and 1 count of resisting arrest. There's no more information on the 17-year-old accomplice's charges and court date.
College of the Canyons has added even more classes to the summer session this year, with room for almost 18,000 students. The school added a total of 580 classes for the summer, which is a 23% increase from the 2012 summer session. The classes will consist of mostly the core classes many need for graduation, but the school has added some electives. Summer sessions will start as early as June 3rd and will last to as late as August 16th for some classes.
COC has received its updated college scorecard, but students may not understand how to read or what it really means. Stacy Lewis went to find the answers.
While some students are trying to figure out what college to transfer to or what class to take next, others may be wondering if they chose the community college that will produce the best results during their academic career. College of the Canyons' updated scorecard is the perfect tool for students to look at to find out the success of students from the past.
The real critical thing you want to look at is completion rates. So what it's saying is that how successful are students at completing at that specific community college. And when I say completing, it's talking about, did you get a certificate? Did you transfer to a 4-year school? Did you get your AA degree?
Battle says that the scorecard is really for the student with specific goals, and that it gives them the ability to look at their college and see how well students have and are completing their goals. The CLC scorecard is taken from data that may be considered historical.
The most recent data actually looks at its 2006-2007 cohort, and then every year from that, because really it's taking, when you look at things like completion, obviously you need to find that data. Did that student transfer? So, sometimes it takes a while to understand, okay, did that student actually go to Cal State Northridge, USC, UCLA?
The scorecard's basic goal is to help students make smart educational.
Say you're in the San Fernando Valley. If you're in Northridge, for instance, you could take a look and say, well, I want to go to a community college, but within a 30-mile radius, I've got 5 different community colleges, 3 different districts. So which one do you choose? And this is just another thing, I think, to help students really make an informed decision. How well is that student graduating, or how well is that community college helping its students graduate?
The scorecard is also a tool that transferring students can use to look at prospective universities and make informed decisions. by visiting www.whitehouse.gov and searching for college scorecards. For Cougar News, I'm Stacy Lewis.
Now we toss it over to CJ Smith for the latest news.
What breaking news do you have for us, CJ?
Thanks, you guys. Police are still on the lookout for a suspect who has now been identified as Corey Paul Kiefer, a white male with a black shirt who allegedly fired shots in Canyon Country. The shots were heard near the streets of Sierra Highway and Scherzinger Street. Nobody is allowed in or out of the containment area, which is being contained by the LA County Sheriffs, and citizens are encouraged to avoid the area near Art's Liquor Store, where Kiefer could be in the wash near the store. If anyone has any information regarding Kiefer, you are urged to call 911. A brush fire started in Riverside County this morning and has burnt at least 1,500 acres as of recent reports in the Banning area. Authorities have not given any details on how the blaze started, but so far 500 people have been evacuated, including one house being burnt. Summer is a little brighter, though, for the Santa Clarita residents as the North Valencia swimming pool reopens today after being destroyed last summer. Vandals dumped several gallons of paint, causing over $300,000 in repairs and closing the pools for 9 months due of renovations. There still aren't any arrests made, but a $5,000 reward is being offered for any information leading to an arrest or conviction of the vandals of the pool. That's the latest in breaking news. Get the news as it happens by connecting with us on Facebook and Twitter by searching COC Cougar News. I'm CJ Schmid. Back to you at the anchor desk.
Thank you, CJ. With so much school-related violence recently, students are no doubt looking for new ways to cope. College of the Canyons will be hosting its first suicide awareness event on May 5th, hosted by the Student Health and Wellness Center. The event, called Shine a Light on Suicide Awareness and Prevention, will hold several helpful discussions regarding staying mentally healthy. It will also advertise an upcoming certification course in mental health first aid. Shine a Light is not only for students experiencing problems with depression or other related issues, but also for those who may have to deal with average stresses that come with the college life.
White chairs to symbolize the amount of college students that die by suicide annually. We're going to have an information and resource table at the top of the Honor Grove that will be staffed.
This past weekend, KHTS sponsored a double home and garden expo and emergency expo for citizens of the Santa Clarita Valley. Our own Oscar Rogel went to the scene to see what was happening.
For the last 4 years, the Home and Garden Show and Emergency Expo has been a day full of displays and information, as this public free event gave many people a chance to learn more about home supplies and what to do in case of an emergency.
Home and Garden Show, it has about 150 vendors who are all here displaying a wide array of items for the home. We have everything from flooring places, solar energy, anything you need for the home is here today. The Emergency Expo contains a lot of items for safety in the home. Santa Clarita is the poster child for disasters, so it's important for us to keep disaster and more importantly emergency preparedness on top of everyone's mind.
We're here to represent the Great California Shakeout earthquake drill that happens every October. And it's going to be on October 17th at 10:17 a.m. this year. And it's a chance for everybody to practice what to do to protect yourself during an earthquake.
We want people to know where they need to come to. We're the ones that go out and make sure that they're safe or not after such an event, and we're there to help them.
Our focus of our campaign this afternoon is Prepare SoCal. And what we are letting people know is to get a kit, make a plan, and be informed.
We're a local pest control company here in Santa Clarita. We brought out one of our bed bug sniffing dogs to do some demonstrations for the public, see how the dogs work, searching for live bed bugs. The dogs are trained to find live bed bugs only, so we hide those bugs in a bed, in a drawer, wherever we want the dogs to search. We have the dogs search those areas. As the dog picks up on the odor of the bug, the dog will actually scratch at the area where the bugs are hiding.
For more information about this event, visit hometownstation.com. Reporting here from the Hyatt Hotel in Valencia, I am Oscar Rogel for Cougar News.
Coming up next on Cougar News, one popular movie streaming company is dropping thousands of their titles. We tell you how this may affect some of you avid moviegoers.
Plus, the race for the Foothill League swim title heads towards its final meet. Find out how the 17-year title holding streak may be broken. Stay tuned.
Habitat for Heroes.
Really, it's a story about people.
Letting people see that they're not alone, they're not isolated. We're here to help.
And we need to work on behalf of our veterans.
Then we can really change that veteran's ability to reintegrate into the community.
Habitat for Heroes is not just rebuilding homes, but it's rebuilding lives.
And that's the message we want to get across.
Get involved. Visit habitatscv.org and find out how you can help.
Vincenzo's New Hall offers the best value and great tasting pizza for all of the Santa Clarita Valley. From the freshest toppings and savory sauce to expertly hand-tossed pies, Vincenzo's New Hall offers terrific service, ice-cold drinks, fresh salads, and of course, great tasting handmade pizza. Vincenzo's features Friday night karaoke. Saturday night, it's live bluegrass featuring the Grateful Dudes, and Sunday, the only live local rock and roll. Vincenzo's New Hall invites you to dine in or try their takeout, or let us come to you with our rapid and friendly home delivery. Vincenzo's New Hall, inch for inch, the best pizza in the Santa Clarita Valley.
This past Friday, the COC Valencia campus hosted the American Sign Language Club and their spring festival. Students, parents, children, and ASL club members joined together on the Honor Grove with music, activities, and food in hopes to spread the word about American Sign Language. COC's ASL club is always looking for new members. And to learn more about ASL or get involved in the club, please visit facebook.com/ASL Club COC.
The Associated Student Government held their elections this week, where students lined up to place their vote for next semester's leaders. Volunteers were there to guide people through the process and get their ballots filled in. The ballot was a bit short this year as many of the candidates didn't have opponents. The ASG helps to align the clubs at COC and plans social, cultural, and educational events across campus. ASG leadership offers students an opportunity to get real-life political experience right here.
This is the closest thing that there is to a real government setting on a student campus. They are the governing body for the students.
Now we toss it over to Jacqueline Swoboda for entertainment.
What's exciting in the entertainment world today, Jacqueline?
Thanks, guys. Looking for something to do this weekend? Well, there's an International Film Festival screening this Friday at 7 p.m. in Hasley Room 101. They'll be showing the classic, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming. This movie is a 1966 comedy classic based on the Nathaniel Benchley novel, The Off-Islander. Directed by Norman Jewison, the plot circles around the comedic chaos that occurs when a Soviet submarine is stranded on an island off New England. It was a good weekend for the opening films at the movies. Pain and Gain claimed the top spot at this weekend's domestic box office. With a decent $20.2 million starting, Gain beat The Big Wedding, which was a big flop, only bringing in $8.2 million. The overseas box office, however, is where all the excitement is at. Iron Man 3 played a week early, playing in 79% of foreign markets. The movie grossed a whopping $198.4 million this past weekend, which is up on the Avengers' $185 million start at the same time last year. Currently, the sales are at $242 million worldwide. The blockbuster film has yet to debut domestically, but will be showing in theaters across the U.S. on May 3rd. It's not every day you get to work on a real set as a student filmmaker, but thanks to the producers of the short film, The Show, many of our own students were able to feel what it's like to work under the pressure and endure the process of a real film production. From SCV TV Studios, here's more on what the day was like for my colleagues.
Action. Oh, you're treading a real thin line here, buddy.
No, I'm not. I just understand what kind of show we've got.
And you think it's a good news show?
I don't think it's a news show at all.
And you're just content to let it remain that way?
You bet.
You're pathetic. You're fake.
There was nothing fake about the work being done on the set of The Show, a short film co-produced by COC's own Gene Carroll, The cast and crew was a combination of COC students and industry professionals, and the atmosphere was electric. Today, we're gonna see firsthand what it takes to put a project together. This is just a production day, so this is not pre-production or post-production. I had an opportunity to talk with a few of the players on this day of production, and they all had a lot to share.
My students have been having a great time because I was able to coordinate this effort so that we could produce this wonderful short film right here at SCV TV using many of our students from the Media Entertainment Arts Department, and I'm very proud of their performance.
My experience was really good. This is my first time on a real shoot. I AD'd for a student film, but it was like not anything like this.
When I came onto this, I was not aware that it was kind of a mixed crew with some professionals and students, and I have to say that this is one of the better run and efficient crews.
Being able to work on set with professionals and see what they do, follow their lead, take direction from them, it's priceless.
Always say yes. It's about doing. I didn't get this for many years as an actor. I was like, oh, it's about acting. It is about acting, but it's about relationships.
Being on set, you really get a sense of how important the students were to the production.
The students, we couldn't have done it without the students. They were just such a big help. They were all over the place. They did everything we asked for. It was awesome.
We had a great day here. I learned a lot. If you want to work in this business, you got to put in the hours. This is Moshe Mylan from SCV TV and Cougar News. We'll see you next time.
Today, hundreds of movies, including many classics, will no longer be available for viewing on Netflix. This includes many seasons of South Park, classic Bond titles, Dr. No and Goldfinger, as well as movies such as How I Won the War and Beach Red. These older features are said to be expiring because the deals that Netflix has in place with studios like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Universal are expiring. A Netflix spokesperson says they're doing what's called A/B testing to see which version of a particular feature or experience results in increasing Netflix viewing. This dynamic service has a lot of change coming in the near future, hopefully all for the better. That does it for entertainment. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Landing a job is hard enough with tough competition and a constantly changing economy. But statistics show that prospective job seekers are lowering their chances of landing a job because of unprofessional choices. Jacob Johnson has more.
It is my great honor to welcome you to our college graduation ceremony.
About the big interview.
Happerman and Browning Publishing.
Wow! It's a ride.
How'd it go?
I asked the VP if she was pregnant. No, she was just fat.
Many of us have grown up with our parents telling us that we can do whatever we want to do and be whoever we want to be. But as most employers will tell you, this is not the case if you cannot achieve a successful job interview. While this has always been the reality of the occupational world, it has become even more so for this generation. A recent article on CNBC states that hiring managers say many perform poorly, sometimes even bizarrely, in job interviews.
A lot of students aren't required to take a public speaking class. I think that is really what holds them back, is they don't have the proper experience with talking to someone one-on-one.
Oh, and I do face check sometimes.
Right. While many blame this shortage of communication skills on a lack of certain courses, others blame things like texting and social media.
It's kind of getting worse with social media because everybody's so used to talking online and everything like that. So it's when they go to an interview, they're too afraid to even talk to a manager or anything like that because they're afraid of saying something wrong.
While studies do show that most of the younger generation has trouble when it comes to job interviews, there are always ways to improve conversational skills. One way in particular is by checking out canyons.edu, where you are taken step by step through the interview process. For Cougar News, I'm Jacob Johnson.
Still to come on Cougar News, find out which special guests visited the Valencia campus.
Plus, we'll catch you up on the latest in sports. Stay tuned.
Central Park hosted its first Rock, Walk, and Wag event. Friendly dogs and their owners came to enjoy a free day of family fun. Jacqueline Sepulveda has more on what happened at the Pet Fest.
The Angel Dogs Foundation hosted its first annual Rock, Walk, and Wag, an event created to raise awareness for pet overpopulation and raise funds for spay and neuters. This free, fun family event took place at Central Park in Santa Clarita on April 27, 2013 from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Anytime we have an opportunity to adopt out homeless pets to the community, because Santa Clarita families make great homes, and we'll take that opportunity and try to help these animals get a second chance.
Guests of the event had the opportunity to interact with adoptable pets, take part in a silent auction, live musical performances, eat food from a variety of LA food trucks, play at the Kids Zone, as well as enjoy services from a variety of vendors for your shopping pleasures.
It's honestly the most rewarding experience to work with these homeless animals, and it helps them get adopted.
But as far as, adopting a dog instead of buying, we don't want to see any, dogs get killed because they don't have a home. So we figured it's the best thing for us.
Whether you walk or wag, this is a great family-oriented event to help our less fortunate animals in the Santa Clarita Valley. For more information on future events and how you can help out the cause, join the Rock, Walk, and Wag Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/rockwalkwag. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Jacqueline Sepulveda.
Major League Soccer season is in full swing in America, and one team is making a big statement. Carlos Ravello visited the Chivas USA squad and their influence in the Hispanic community.
Alza la mano en señal de ataque. Centro buscando hacia Juan Agudelo. ¡Gol!
Una nueva era es cuando se habla de un cambio, una transformación, de reformar un sistema, comenzar algo nuevo. Y eso es lo que Chivas USA, conocido como el rebaño angelino, el chiverío americano, entre otros, ha venido a implementar a la liga de la MLS. Estamos en el Home Depot Center y acabamos de presenciar el entrenamiento de Chivas USA. Este equipo, con una gran tradición y orgullo para la comunidad hispana, fue incluido en el año 2005 a la liga de la MLS. Con el positivismo de un nuevo proyecto y un hombre dedicado a su profesión como el Chelis, las expectativas son las mejores. Seguir tradiciones siempre es complicado, pero contagiar a la comunidad hispana es alcanzable. La trayectoria, optimismo e influencia de este equipo ha hecho que la ciudad angelina responda positivamente. El jugador mexicano Manuel Rivera, que se ha incorporado a las filas de Chivas USA, está tomando este reto de representar a la comunidad latina con mucho entusiasmo.
Para mí en lo personal es un orgullo representar el equipo primeramente, y después al ser mexicano, saber que podemos venir mexicanos y hacer un papel por acá, me siento muy orgulloso.
El equipo de Chivas USA define una referencia para un pueblo, que sus colores son intocables para los aficionados del rebaño sagrado. Desde que el equipo fue incluido a la liga de la MLS, la evolución y crecimiento ha sido notable.
Sí, definitivamente, y es como se da en muchas ligas. Vemos en las ligas europeas que los jugadores latinos aportan muchísimo en cuanto a la evolución, y eso no es ajeno a la liga de Estados Unidos, a la MLS.
Lo clásico, los colores y la identidad de este club es lo que atrae e influye a la comunidad latina. Para Cougar News, soy Carlos Ravello.
Be sure to tune in to the Spanish edition of Cougar News later this month, hosted by Carlos Ravello and Jesse Canales. Stories involving the Hispanic community will be highlighted and shown on CougarNews.com. Now it's time for sports with our very own Jesse Merrick.
How are those Cougars doing, Jesse?
Well, guys, a lot of the Cougars are making names for themselves. You look at guys like Jason Pierre-Paul, Troy Nolan, Justin Tryon, Domata Pecco, and Isaac Sopoaga, all current NFL players whose journey to the next level passed through COC. You can now add Michael Rivera to that list, picked by the Oakland Raiders in the 6th round of this year's NFL Draft out of the University of Tennessee. Rivera started his career as a member of the Oregon Ducks in 2008, then transferred to COC due to a lack of playing time, and shortly after received a scholarship offer to become a member of the Tennessee Volunteers. Rivera was a standout tight end, earning all SEC second-team honors. His journey now takes him north to play for the Raiders in the Black Hole, and we wish him all the best. Now we take you to track and field, where the Foothill League prelims were on tap at Valencia High School. Running ruled the track yesterday as qualifying heats for 7 boys and girls events took place. For the girls' 100-meter hurdle, leading the way into the finals is Golden Valley's Caitlin Zindrowski with a time of 16.8 seconds, and on her tail are Hart teammates Lindsay Estrada and Kate Lynn. The number 1 seed for the varsity boys in the 110 hurdles is junior Connor West from Hart High School. Another top finalist from Golden Valley is James Chevius, who won his 400 heat with a time of 50.27 seconds, making him a favorite to win Friday's final race. The Foothill League's best will be back at Valencia High School this Friday to compete for the area title in track and field. Now we take you to swimming, where the season is winding down, and for the first time in a long time, the Foothill League title is up for grabs. Yesterday afternoon, area schools met at the Santa Clarita Aquatic Center for the Foothill League prelim, and it didn't disappoint. Local phenom Abby Weitzel took first in the varsity girls 200-yard freestyle, but finished second to Hart's Mick Ranslam in the 100 butterfly, who posted a personal best of 55.75 seconds. Now to the boys, where the duel between Hart and Valencia is very apparent, with 2 of the top performances coming from each school. Viking freshman Kevin Dye led the charge as the top qualifier in both the 200 IM and 100 backstroke. Matching that effort was Indian Matt Johnson, recording the top times in both the 200-yard freestyle and the 500 free. You can head back to Santa Clarita Aquatic Center tomorrow at 1:30 for the finals, where Valencia has a chance to strip the Foothill League title away from Hart for the first time in 17 years. Now we take it over to baseball, where the Valencia Vikings were at home Friday looking for revenge against the Hart Indians after suffering a heartbreaking loss off a walk-off homer by Austin Russ in the bottom of the 8th inning last Wednesday. You got the senior Luke Sirocco taking the bump for the Vikings, and how about this kid? Look at him bringing the heat. On his way to a no-no, could he get it done and become only the 3rd person in school history to do so? He had 6 strikeouts on the day, allowing only 4 runners on, walking 3, while another made it on because of an error. Right here you have an error from Hart at the plate, and it's the junior Shane Lindeman taking advantage and stealing second. But get a load of this, he's so fast, they don't even bother throwing it. He reaches the bag safely. With the outfielder Lindeman on second, it's Colton Burns who hits it to center, and Hart's Pearson Good can't make the catch, bringing in the game-winning run. The Vikings win it 1-0. Evening the series for the week, and the pitcher Sirocco cements himself in Valencia's record books with the no-hitter. The Vikings get revenge in memorable fashion. The term all-star is not always about the best player on the team, but rather the player who goes above and beyond all expectations. Luke Christo, a golfer on the COC squad, defines that word. With a full-time class schedule, a part-time job, and practice, as well as a 3.7 GPA, Christo is nothing short of a true all-star. Yvette Sanchez got a chance to sit down with the standout golfer and found out how he has time for it all.
I sat down and spoke to Luke. He told us the secrets of him being an all-star on and off the green.
Well, it's a lot of time management. I just kind of like piece it out on what I need to do now, and I try not to procrastinate. It's hard to do, but it's something that really needs to get done, so I try to do it first, and then that way I have extra time. Mainly the school stuff comes first, because if you don't have good grades and stuff, you're going to get overlooked for sports, and my job is kind of lenient with me with the school also, so I really try to work on doing like my assignments for school, and then I'll go practice for golf and stuff like that. Well, right now I'm leading the whole league in average-wise. I'm number 1 on our team, and there's only 2 returners that came from last year, and I've played in every single tournament since I'm at COC, and I'm doing pretty good this year, so I'm looking to hopefully win state would be cool. But state kind of gets a little bit more intense, so you're spending more time at the golf course practicing, and so it kind of moves it up almost a little bit on the priority, but it's still, you got to find the balance and do your best to manage it. I'm trying to keep my grades above a 3.5, and I'm trying to do it as best I can in my sports. I could just play like forever, and it's cool that it's like a team sport right now in college, but it's mainly an individual sport, so you could push yourself as hard as you can and see, like, you could go to your limit. It's different than no one's really going to hold you back.
For Cougar News, I'm Yvette Sanchez.
You know, that's a great story, and you love to see a guy who can excel both on the field and off. And one more thing I want to let you guys know about before we take it back to the desk is the Cougars baseball team and women's softball team of COC both made it to the playoffs. Want to wish them luck as they head into the postseason. That's all in sports. I'm Jesse Merrick. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jesse. If any of you COC students were walking around campus on Tuesday, you may have seen a special guest walking around Seco Hall. That's right, the Chick-fil-A cow was spotted on campus by the Communications Club fundraiser booth. While it wasn't an actual cow that showed up, the mascot was there in support of the Comms Club to help them raise money. It also gave students a few laughs as well as a good way to send off the semester.
It's coming to an end for the semester. We really wanted to just go crazy. We thought, hey, why not? Let's bring a cow in.
Well, that does it for this edition of Cougar News. My name is Moshe Milan. You can also catch us on the web at www.cougarnews.com.
And I'm Yasmin Roosbet. You can also send us news tips and story ideas at cougarnews@canyons.edu. Have a good night.